here today with one of our certified instructors, Seafood Don Brown, and we're kind of going over some of the concepts that we teach here at SBC USA. And how are you today there?
Oh, I'm feeling great. How about yourself, Seafood Jones?
Oh, feeling really good. Now, one of the big things I wanted to ask you about, since you're an engineer and you understand how quantum physics works, I wanted to ask you, how is it that we can teach people to move things without touching them? A lot of people will say, when they first hear that concept, they say, well, that's against the laws of physics. That couldn't possibly be true. But now, knowing that we know about science, what do you say about that?
Well, people that say that really don't understand the laws of physics because it's been proven everything is already in a state of motion, actually a state of vibration motion. So even the ground we're walking on, as solid as that may feel to us, it's actually in motion. The universe itself, all matter is composed of subatomic particles, and the subatomic particles are always spinning. And even those subatomic particles themselves are composed of smaller particles called strings. And these strings, and if anybody's aware of something called the superstring theory, these strings themselves vibrate, and depending on their vibrational resonance, that is what builds up the elementary particles, and then these particles form and they have different charges, positive, negative, they can attract, and that's where we get the different types of matter from the periodic table of elements. All this goes down to the fact that everything, the smallest particle itself, is in motion. And all we're doing is using our own energy because we're composed of subatomic particles, and we have these energy particles flowing through us, into us, and around us. We're just directing it and giving it a little boost, so to speak, to get it to move.
So when we're saying that, okay, we're going to actually teach a person to take an inanimate object and we're going to teach them how to build up their own nerve fibers so that they put out more of this electrical energy so that they're able to move things, this is why that happens?
That's exactly why it happens. Exactly why it's within the laws of physics. And if you go to our Cool Stuff page or you check out any of the free reports that we put out, you can see with ease that all the references from noted physicists, doctors in physics, Brian Greene, Dean Radin, they've all come to very similar conclusions, and that's where all of our information is based from, actual factual data.
That is literally coming right out of the quantum physics field, right?
Yes, most certainly. And if anybody wants to prove us wrong, please go right ahead and look up the references and see if you can come up with something other than what is proven to be science. Scientifically valid by the experts in the field. This is the case.
Yeah, that's the main thing that I wanted to kind of go over is because you hear that all the time. I'm constantly reminded by people out there that say, oh, when they go talk about things, moving things without touching them, they just say that's the first thing out of their mouth. Oh, that's against the laws of physics. And what I'm really trying to tell them is, well, they haven't studied the laws of physics, obviously, have they?
Not at all. And one of the things that we like to make sure of, and part of the name Scientific Premium Company, it's that everything that we do is documented and grounded in science. And so if anybody wants to look at what we're doing, we put the references and the documentation right out there so that they can go and see for themselves.
Yeah, so what we're really saying, it isn't something we're just making up. These are actual facts. These are scientific facts that we're going on and basing all of our type of exercises on. It's not something that we're just making up or, something that sounds good.
No, and it's not only is it something that's valid and it's a proven system, but again, researchers, men and women that have dedicated their entire careers and livelihoods to finding more and more about the actual physical universe, we look at their work and they've been validated by many, many laboratories across the world. And so it's like, yes, this is the case. And it turns out that the exercises that we do dovetailed perfectly with the laws of physics.
And the quantum physics field itself for quantum mechanics. Hey, I appreciate you coming on. I wanted you to kind of convey that message across to people who, sometimes think that it doesn't work in the way it does. We wanted to show them that actually it does scientifically work this way. And so thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you. Bye.
Bye.